What's up, YouTube? I gotta do the wheel bearing on my car, so I just decided to go ahead and make a video for it, help you guys out. It's not really that hard, so don't really let it intimidate you.
You can do it!
You just wanna do it right. Don't half-ass it, because you're gonna probably have problems or get hurt. But it's not really that hard of a job if you have the right tools. So, I will say, now this wheel bearing press that's needed to press the bearing back in, I got it from Harbor Freight. I think I paid less than $200 for it. It was like $180, $190, I don't remember exactly, but you know, it has everything you need in it, all the sizes to press them back in, pretty much everything you can think of to press them back in there. The cups, all that. So it'll get it back in, pretty much whatever car you have. I wouldn't say to buy one of these if you don't do this very often. I do this for a living, so this is an investment for me. But if you're only going to do this like once or twice, you know, I wouldn't recommend buying one. Maybe just borrow one or rent one or something. I don't know if they rent them, but you know, spending $200 on something you're not only going to use once or twice is not really worth it to me. But like I said, I do this every day, so not every day, but often. So it's an investment for me. And if you have an impact, that'll make it a lot easier too. But that'll make it 10 times easier. The better the impact, the more luck you're gonna have. I have the Milwaukee, so this thing is a beast. 1,400 pounds. Of course, you're gonna need your wheel bearing and your hub. It sucks to how when you pull this bearing off, half of it comes with this hub. So you can reuse your hub, but you probably have to cut that piece off. I don't know what you have to use to cut it off with, but it gets stuck on there. Half of this bearing will get stuck on there, and you have to cut it off. It won't just come off or anything. So I just figured just replace it. I got this kit from AutoZone. And it was right at 80 bucks. And it came with everything. Came with the hub, the bearing, a new lock clip, ring clip. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. And the axle nut. Comes with everything. Even though you can probably reuse your old one, but I don't know. If it's not too damaged, but you know, I use them most of the time anyway, reuse them. So all you have to do is come in here. I took it apart to make this shorter and quicker for you guys. I'm no long, hour-long video. I don't like watching them long videos. But all you got to do, come in, jack it up, put it on a jack stand. And you want to jack up the spring and lower control arm here. You want to jack up and hold the spring and lower control arm here. Again, you want to hold this spring. So once you get it on the jack stand, go ahead and get your jack and then hold this up. Get the pressure, you know, off of the spindle, the knuckle. Once that's off, once that's taken care of, come in and take your wheel off, you know, blah, 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 all that stuff. You got to do that anyway. Then you're going to start on your brakes. You take off your caliper. Then you take off the brackets. Both of those are 14 millimeter. Then you want to take out your, where is it? Your sensor for the ABS. I got mine around here somewhere. There it is. Just take it and hang it out of the way. Then comes the fun part. What I did first was the upper control arm. That is a 17 with a little clip in it, you know, a little pin clip thing. Take that out and then go to your bottom. A word of advice too, what you want to do first, probably if you live in especially if you live in the Rust Belt states, go ahead and PB blast this stuff maybe an hour before you start this job, because that'll make it a lot easier. You know, I live down here in the South and I don't have any rust at all, so this is coming right off for me, no problems. But just a heads up for you guys who live up north. Come down here to your bottom, take off the bottom bolt on the knuckle, and then come over to your other control arm or here and unbolt that. Now there's a stud hanging out here that holds the bottom part on, so you want to unbolt that and then unbolt the top part. Unbolt the top too, and just take the whole thing off. You don't, it's not needed. Get it out of the way. This is a good time to replace that if you know, feel like spending extra money on it. It's a good time to get all this stuff done, honestly, while you have it all off. Your upper control arm, your sway bar end links. Good time to replace all this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and do all that, and especially your shocks too. Mine needs to be replaced because mine is trash. Look at this. You press it down, it does nothing. Nothing. It should be coming back up on its own. But these cars are known for having, you know, wearing out shocks on the back. I mean, it's got 197,000 miles on it, so it's time for new shocks anyway. But this is a good time to go ahead and get all this done since you have it all apart and it's easy to get to. Once you have all that apart, then you can tilt this knuckle forward and work out your, after you remove the nut, work out your CV axle, because that's really the only thing that's in why you have to do all this stuff. If the CV axle wasn't back here, probably a two-wheel drive is probably easier to do because there's no axle on the back, obviously. But I only buy all-wheel drive cars. This thing here is what's keeping you from just making this bearing pressing a lot easier, because this is in the way. And to get it out, you have to remove all this other stuff. So once you take off the lower, the upper, and all that, you can tilt this forward. You don't have to remove the sway bar link because it's attached to the control arm. So just take off that. You can leave your brakes hooked up and all that. Just get it out of the way. You can bungee cord it up if you want to, if you feel safer that way. I just got mine sitting right here on the sway bar. But take all that off and then tilt it forward and then work this out. Work it out, you know, till you get it all the way out of the way. Then once you have it out of the way, you can take it completely out if you want to. I just got mine sitting right here. And then put the upper control arm bolt nut back on, and then put the lower control arm bolt back in. Once you have that, that's going to keep this, you know, tight, so you can beat it on with your slide hammer. One more thing too, I forgot. You're going to need a little bit of slack on your ABS cable sensor, so you want to undo these two 10 millimeters right here, and then you have one over there. So both of those, that'll give this more slack when you tilt the whole thing forward. Otherwise you'll break it. I don't think you want to replace these things. I think they're like 50 bucks a piece. I had to do one time because I broke it by accident. But anyway, don't forget about that too. Do that too. And now you want to take your tools. You can rent these at AutoZone. This is a tool you don't really have to buy because you can just rent it and get your money back. This is the slide hammer. It was about 90 bucks. And you need the hub puller. Whichever one of these will fit. Mostly I think it's this one right here, the smaller one. That smaller one. So get that on there, then get your slide hammer together, and you're good. You can get both of these at AutoZone because that's where I got them from. You don't really have to buy these. I just don't know about that bearing press set. I think you have to, I don't know if they rent that or not, but I already had one, so I didn't have to buy, I had to rent one anyway. This was like 60 and this was like 90. So get those and you're good to go. Then once you have your slide hammer set up, screw it into the puller. You can use your lug studs, your lug nuts to hold it on. Use your lug nuts to hold it on. Just tighten those down, and then you're good to go.
One eternity later.
Then you can see what I mean. When you pull it out, half of the wheel bearing comes with it. So that's why it's good to just buy another hub, so you don't have to worry about trying to take that half of the bearing off of there. Just makes it quicker. But if you want to cut it off, if you have the tools to cut that off, then you're good to go. You can do all that if you want, but I like doing it the fast way. Now the correct way to do this is to get a pair of needle nose pliers and put them in the two holes here and then just squeeze it together, pull it on out. But my needle nose pliers are at home. I gotta go back and get them. So for now, I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Take a flat hammer, just tap it in behind here in the back, and then you could just pop it right out. Don't stand in front of it, because if you like you're having eyeballs, just stand over to the side, pop it right out. Easy peasy. On to the next step, pulling out the rest of the bearing. All right, now that you have your old piece of junk out, then you can start pressing the new one back in, and it's all downhill from here. You get your press stuff set back up. This isn't a class on how to use tools, but I'll give you the general idea. Your piece in the back there, and then hold it with a pair of crescent wrench. And you come on in the front. You got to find your right sizes that fit and all that. Start it with your ratchet. Get it started. Make sure it's going in straight. And you can kind of cheat if you want to. Once you get that done, then just take it off. Why didn't I go a little longer? Basically, when it's on the car, you want to have it like this. Your long bolt, your washer, and then whatever size is, whatever this size right here is whatever the hole size diameter of the bearing is. So just go through your sizes and find the right one. So that, then your bearing in the center right here. Then you have your other one on the other side that fits the back of the knuckle. Put that on. And then your little piece, whatever this thing is on the back. That's how you want to have it on the car. The bearing right here in the middle. And you're just pressing it back in. When you're tightening it, this piece back here is what's pushing it back, what's holding it in the back. This piece in the front is what's pushing the actual bearing in. So once you get that all the way back in, make sure you seat it all the way correctly. You should have a little bit of a lip right there. That goes where your snap ring goes. Pop your snap ring back in there. I used a pair of these, but they have better ones. These are kind of hard, but I just muscled it in there. But they have better ones. They have little different endings, attachments that you can use and all that. The curved ones and all that. You can buy a set of those. That'll make it easier for you if you don't have the, the arm strength. And it's the same procedure for the hub. Get your little setup going on, not that. Your bolt goes all the way straight through. Find your little plates for each end, one on the back and then one on the front. And get your socket. Throw it on there. Press it on in. When it stops going, just give it a little more, then you'll be in there. New bearing, good to go. Then this is the part where, we part ways. All you have to do from here is just put everything back together the way you took it apart. Undo your upper control arm nut, your bolt at the bottom down here, take that off, and then, swing this forward again, your knuckle. Stick your CV axle back in there and put the nut back on that. Then, put your shock back in there. Then put everything back together. Control arm, bottom, and don't forget your other control arm over there. Do all that, then do your brakes, rotor back on, all that stuff, and then, make sure everything's tight. Make sure you didn't forget anything. Put everything back together. And take it for a road test. But don't forget that nut on this. Do it for a road test and you're good to go. Any questions or comments, just leave them down in the section below. Until next time, peace.